Alright guys, well I wanted to make this video to show you kind of what's going on with the Impulse. I ran it the other day and there was a crowd, I mean like 20 or 30 Amish people at the boat ramp, and I went there with every intention in the world to make a video. But when I got there, the Amish kids just kind of surrounded my truck when I pulled out the Impulse, and I opted not to do any filming just out of respect for them since they really loved the boat. So the water conditions weren't really that great, but I had 3 packs, so we were going to run it regardless. So I was just trying different props. Now, just like in any other video, I still did my same regimen. I just didn't pull out my camera. Before I went out, based on the other time, I had shortened my rudder. So before, my rudder would actually like touch a little bit, and it would like just lift the boat up off about that much. So if you can look, that's about how much I cut off. So now when it rests there. So I cut a little over 1/2 inch additional off of the rudder. I had tried a couple different props. I tried my really big 3-blade, like the ABC 1816, big, bad to the bone, fastest prop ever 3-blade. And the motor actually took it. I ran it for 5 minutes and it was fine. It was just a little overloaded. You can definitely tell it was overloaded, but the motor still it got to 113 degrees. Then I decided, because the kids wanted to watch me run it for a long period of time, I decided I was going to put on this Arctura M445. That way it was like, to me, it was like low load and I could drive it around for a long period of time. I ended up getting 71 miles an hour out of it on 6S. So I was running, I don't know where it is, I was running this pack. I was running this big boy here, the 8200. And before that, I ran the SRD 6200, and it would only do like, 65 miles an hour, something like that. Just the water conditions weren't that great. But when I brought it in, I was surprised to see that it did 71, because the conditions, just like I said, they weren't that great. Right before I finished running, I had taken it out for one kind of like last rip, and I knew the battery was kind of on its way out. So I just wanted to, show the kids. They were just, oh my God, they were giggling and laughing. They were having a good time. So what ended up happening was the boat, I was driving it out kind of away from me, and I couldn't really see it that good. Well, it went down and it nosedived. And when it nosedived, it come up, and it come up back up. And then the boat wouldn't move. It lost whatever it is, So what ended up happening was the 6S pack slid forward, and it disconnected from the QS8, because the way that the castle is here is like hooked like this. So once the battery slides forward, it just popped it off. Well, what it also did was when that big giant battery slid forward, it hit, let me see if I can get it zoom. It hit that center tray there. And the fumes from my super glue have turned it a weird funky color. I had to glue it back in, and I just tacked it on 3 corners with super glue, and then I got to go back in and kind of epoxy it in. So I did that the other night. Well, today I got something in the mail, so that's going to be the next video after this. Y'all are going to be excited about that. Today, I was kind of cleaning up and getting things prepped, and I decided, I was like, well, I'm going to put the boat on the shelf. Let me go ahead and wax it. So I didn't notice this until I started to wax it. So I'm going to show you, and it really, really hurts my feelings. So I'm shining my light down into the hull. I'm going to show you. Let's see if you can see what I see. So let's see here. I'm going to try to get it to zoom in. See that? So I'm going to turn the light off, turn the light on, and it goes all the way. Look at that. It's like spiderweb cracked in all of the seams, and I cannot see or notice any cracks on the inside of the boat. And then it continues to go up. Now I can't get my flashlight any further than that. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn the boat upside down and show you. So I've got the Impulse 32 upside down now, right? So this is where it starts. And it goes up, comes this way, and goes all the way over, does that funky turn. There's this, comes all the way to the back, and then it follows all the way to the back, like to where the transom is. Now, when I first got this boat, before I ever put it in the water, this crack right here was visible when I first got it. And what's right here on the bottom, this is the motor mount. And the motor mount is glued in kind of a square formation offset. This is the back seam of the glue of the motor mount. So I can kind of feel a slight hump in the boat. The bottom of this hull was never really truly true. I always felt like maybe this boat would benefit to like a blueprint, but I was always afraid because what I was told was this boat doesn't have gel coat on it. This boat has paint. So they just have a fiberglass hull that they've primed and painted. So my question is to anybody out there, if they have this boat or a painted boat that doesn't have gel coat on it, do you think that this is just cracked paint? Because that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I can push on it, I can't get one side to separate versus another, but I can shine a light through one side and get light through. But when you look from the inside, there is no visible crack from the inside. So I just don't know. You know, I was very disappointed when I saw that crack there when I got the boat up. I just have never shown that to anybody until now. And then like a couple of months ago, I had this one here show up, but that's not, you can't really, you know, feel that, but you can feel this one. And it just feels like paint, you know, but I don't know, kind of hurt my feelings. I'm still going to run the boat. That's you know, not an issue. But I will slowly start looking to see if maybe there's going to be water intaking, and if there is, I'm going to have to do something about it. So I would like anybody's insight in the comments to tell me what it is you think I should do with this. You know, how to repair it. Do you repair it? Is there a way to fix it from the outside, or do you try to, you know, do a layer on the inside or something like that? I just don't know, you know. But basically where it is, where the crack is, and I may be on the opposite side of the boat right now, but every glue point where they glued it is where that crack follows. Like the crack will move and then it'll journey back to the glue point, and then it'll move and it'll journey back to the glue point. So what it's doing, it's cracked in the areas where the hull can't flex. And that's the same thing for back here at the motor mount where that crack was at the back, where they glued this in, and there's no flex back here, and that's where it cracked. And I feel like, you know, 100% that was cracked before this boat had ever been put in the water. You know, it was just unfortunate. But boy, oh boy, was it a missile. It was an absolute rocket on the water. But what I had to do, I had to grind these little tabs down to where I could lay one 6S brick in here. And then I just went and looped it all the way through. And I put some anti-skid on the bottom, some foam on the top. But yeah, when it went and did like the submarine move into the water, it just, you know, that was a lot of forward momentum that had to be slowed down. And it slid forward about that far. That's all it did. And it knocked that little center brace out. But unfortunate. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. You know, I want to show you, I don't know if this is the side. Let me turn off the flashlight. See, if we look inside the hull from shining the flashlight to the outside, there's no visible crack in it. It's just like crack through the paint, and you can allow light through. If I'm not even turning the light off, I'm just moving it away from the crack, you know. But it follows it. It follows it right there next to that glue joint. Follows it next to that glue joint. Follows it up there next to that glue joint. And then the same back here. I can't get the flashlight in that point and hold the boat and all that at the same time. But it's literally cracked about 1 inch behind, or maybe a ½ inch behind where that motor mount is right there. But kind of crazy. If I got to buy a new hull, I will. You know, I do know that I put this thing through a hellacious amount of abuse, but I've never wrecked it, in my opinion, as bad as I've seen some. You know, it's always been you know, a gradual slowdown, whether it blasts across the water, tumbles, or whatever. It's those instantaneous stops that are really detrimental on something. But yeah, kind of unfortunate. I really wish I didn't see that, but I want to share it with you. That way y'all can give me y'all's opinion. So hope to read some comments in the comment section and let me know what you think. If you think it's just paint and I can fix it that way, that'd be cool. Or should I just leave it alone and run it until she blows all the way through? And if we bust a hole in the hull, then we'll just replace the hull. So let me know what you think in the comments. See y'all on the next one. Peace.